Well, unfortunately, we've just received news that Governor Tony Evers has denied Brendan's request for clemency or pardon, whatever. Kind of disappointing. Personally, I think he should have let Brendan out based on the fact that clearly he is completely innocent, and then he should have said, well, I've also demanded that they reopen the investigation into his Holbach's disappearance, and that would have been the ideal thing to do. It does strike me as being a little bit odd that he should take so long to decide this, given the fact that his decision apparently is based purely on the fact that Brendan doesn't meet certain criteria, any of the criteria. I happen to think that probably Steve and Drizzen and Laura Nyrider knew about that. Obviously, they weren't asking for the parole board to look at it. They were wanting to get Brendan out based on actual innocence. Although it has, to me, it seems a bit messy. I like the Sean Atwood explanation as to what's happened, that Brendan is simply being held as a political prisoner, and we've got people in the state just laughing about the fact that they're just holding him in order to help shore up the conviction of Stephen Avery, and the idea that you just say to them, "Oh, please let Brendan out. Just be nice and kind," and we're saying it nicely. That struck me as being a bit. It's not going to wash with the sort of people who are involved in the shenanigans in Wisconsin. It seemed a bit of a Hail Mary at the time. Will this result in a seemingly closer working between Kathleen Zellner, Steve and Laura? Hope so. Hope it means that we see a bit more of them coming together on this. As I say, I was a bit disappointed, certainly when I was in Australia and saw Stephen Drizzen and Laura Nyrider. They barely mentioned either Kathleen Zellner or Stephen Avery. They never mentioned Stephen Avery once in Sydney. They mentioned Kathleen Zellner once in Melbourne. I think they mentioned Stephen Avery maybe a handful of times. That doesn't sound that good to me. But as I say, looking at it from the point of view, the two different scenarios, if it had been granted and under the right conditions, yes, I would say that was a brilliant idea. It's worked really well. Given that it hasn't, it just smacks of being a bit of a desperate plan. Tony Evers must have, to have taken this long to come to a decision when it was such an easy decision to make, makes you think that there must have been some thought, some heavy discussion went on over the appeal by Brendan's lawyers. It would have been, as I say, it would have been great at Christmas to have had the news that Brendan was Governor Evers was going to grant his release, and as I say, look at the situation and the circumstances behind his and Stephen's conviction. It clearly hasn't happened, but as I say, there's probably been some discussions behind the scenes that we're not aware of. My hope is that they will simply be seen to be working together. Maybe they are. Maybe there are things that we don't know about that they have to keep quiet for now. If so, fine, absolutely fine. Kathleen Zellner has tweeted that it's very sad news that Brendan's request has been denied. That's really all I wanted to say for now. We found out the news about an hour ago. I see the dude has already done a video. I was driving, so I had to wait till I could get parked up somewhere. So no doubt we'll be discussing this to quite a degree in the coming days and weeks. Anyway, really all I've got to say for now. As I say, if it means that Steve, Drizzen, Law and I Ride and KZ work closer together, that has to be a good thing. But anyway, we'll wait and see. Okay, bye for now. Catch you soon.